Between what we've lived through and what our day jobs demand, we've spent some serious time researching neuroscience. The pattern we keep seeing is the way we think shapes the way we behave. And over time, those behaviors shape our outcomes, often before we even realize we've made a choice.
So in that research of neuroscience, it opened the door to neuroplasticity, habit loops, stress responses, microdecisions, all the brainy stuff that explains why just try harder is a trash strategy. In this lab, we're rewiring habits one experiment at a time.
Welcome to I² Lab. Okay, so fat things we did that we might still want to do. This one comes from when all of us were living in the same place. We lived with mom and dad for a short stint. Me and Randy came out of the apartment and we were trying to save money for a house. You were still at home. You're 3 years younger than me. So we were all at mom and dad's and we got a hair up our butts to do a mozzarella stick taste testing. Now, if you remember this differently, feel free. This is how I remember it. And then, we were in our 20s. So it's not like we had an endless amount of money. So we're not talking like mozzarella sticks from fancy places. It was, it was White Castle, Arby's.
Yes. I think there was one more.
There was at least one or two more.
Those are the two I remember.
Maybe there was a local restaurant that we got some from.
It might have been like Sir Walter's or something, which is a local restaurant.
It's a local restaurant. And I think we had one more. I can't remember.
I don't know. Like
and maybe it was
Dairy Queen or something.
It might have been.
If they even have cheese sticks.
I think they do.
Okay.
Or they did then.
We had a Dairy Queen really close to us.
Very close.
Okay.
Very close. So we actually got in the car. We drove to all these places, picked it up. We called in Sir Walter's, I think. We got we got enough for all of us to have. We proceeded to then go home because we needed to have a true taste testing of which one was the best. Based on convenience and consistency and the cheese volume and all of the things that you would rate cheese sticks off of. We started to eat. I don't remember. I think we had other things besides the mozzarella sticks.
We had to, because I don't think we would have been full.
I remember being so full.
Yeah.
Like sickly, painfully full. So I think we probably did not stop at cheese sticks. I just don't remember what else we got. But I remember the quest we were on was to determine who had the best cheese stick, mozzarella sticks. So we come home. I think we were sitting at the table at one point or in the chairs in the living room. And we proceeded to pass around the food. Yeah. We must have ate other stuff too because the mozzarella sticks feel like they were towards the end.
We probably had like a crave case and a 5 for $5 from Arby's.
Something. God knows. What would be interesting would be to put the amount of calories we had then in like one of the apps to see. Yeah. So I did that. Actually, I used to get a very specific amount of food from White Castle, a very specific order. I actually calculated it in points in Weight Watchers. I would get 2 double cheeseburgers, 2 of the chicken sandwiches with cheese, a sack of fries, mozzarella sticks, because come on. If fish nibblers were a thing, I would also get a small thing of fish nibblers. If that wasn't the thing, I would get the chicken rings.
Okay.
And a gigantic Coke. And you're not talking about a little 12-ounce Coke.
Their medium is huge.
Their medium is at least 24 ounces.
At least it is now.
The large one you can hardly pick up with one hand. You have to have 2 hands to be able to grab it from the drive-thru person and put it in your car.
And we don't have tiny hands. So
seriously. I think I had, when I put it into the Weight Watchers app, I think it was 110 points.
Oh my gosh. Which is like 4 days worth of points.
I don't remember what the calorie count is in Lose It. I'll have to redo it. It was astronomical. And that was just one meal. That was one meal.
Ooh.
That wasn't the entire day. So we're eating in the living room. At some point, all three of us got so full. This is what I remember, that we had to lay on the floor to continue to eat the food.
Yes. I remember laying on my stomach.
Which is counterintuitive, I feel like.
I don't know. I didn't lay on my back. I laid on my stomach, so I don't know how that would help. But
I remember us going, we need to lay down.
I remember saying, I think Randy was screaming, lay down to shovel it in.
I don't think Adam would have participated. He would have been like, you guys are nuts. I'm done.
Yeah. And he just like, I'm too refined. And he's not.
We laid down on the ground to continue to eat is really the crux. I mean, there's more than one crux of the story, but that was the kind of the moment of like, there should have been a moment where you should have recognized that this is too much food.
Yeah.
You're actually in physical pain. You have eaten so much.
Your body is telling you you're done.
It's screaming at you that you're done. I also did this same behavior.
Wait.
Oh.
Which cheese sticks were the best?
Oh.
I think it was Arby's, if I remember.
I have to say, I think it was Arby's, and it was the coating.
Yeah.
The other ones seemed a little just like they were frozen, even though Arby's I'm sure is too. Arby's still probably takes, if I had to choose today if I'm just thinking of the two White Castle, because Sir Walter's isn't open anymore.
Yeah.
And I can't.
And I don't remember.
Fourth one was not memorable. The two that stick out were White Castle and Arby's.
Mm-hmm.
Between the two, Arby's hands down.
Yeah.
Although I have not had cheese sticks in a long time, so I actually have a feeling it wouldn't hold a candle to what I believe I remember it to be.
I don't go to either of those places anymore, so.
No. I actually don't go to drive-thrus. It's very rare.
Yeah.
That's one thing, that's one habit I really had to change was if I'm in a drive-thru these days, it's maybe Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
I've done Chick-fil-A, and even then, I've kind of conditioned myself that this isn't where you belong anymore. So if I'm in a drive-thru for Chick-fil-A, like it's like dire straits. Like I dropped my food or I'm traveling, and this is the lesser of the other evils that I could choose.
Yeah, it's not that I wouldn't do Arby's. I mean, they have salads, and you could just take the roast beef off the bread and stuff.
You absolutely can. Actually,
I just don't.
There's a few people I follow online, and they do. I've thought about doing this. This would be interesting, maybe for us to consider. They do a series of like, what's the best between the two to have, and he has a conversation like with himself. Like he's the trainer, but he's also like the person who's like the layman's, and he's just like, oh, I can't believe you eat 2 of those sandwiches. I'm just gonna have a large Coke and this one sandwich. But when you put like it was like from Arby's, I think, and it's this one specific sandwich and a large Coke, and he flashes up, it's like, 850 calories. But then you could actually have 2 of the junior sandwiches, or you can have one of the sandwiches double the meat, and then you have a bottle of water, and then you can have like apple slices. It ends up being like 675 calories or something. So he shows the 2, and he actually shows the macro breakdown too.
Oh, cool.
So he shows the protein percentage versus the calories, and just a little bit of a breakdown. So on the surface, it's interesting because when you look at it, people would glance at it and think, I'm just having one sandwich and one drink. To your 2 sandwiches and that. Wow, I could never.
Apples and
yeah, and it's funny because he's like, oh, I could never eat that much. I'm just going to have this sandwich, which is actually more calories than if you just chose what he was choosing. He does one around the normal, like the fast food places, Taco Bell. He does one. There was one the other day that it was a series of things that he was flashing up compared to crumble cookie. Now, crumble cookie is good, but have you seen the calories on those?
Yeah, it's terrible.
They are
pretty big.
They are big, but I wouldn't look at that, and I would guess about half of the amount of calories.
Yeah.
because they are big, but they're
Yeah.
not like big as your head big
Yeah.
either. They're probably a little
Yeah.
bit bigger than your palm.
Well, and that's why I shook my head when you said crumble cookie, because they're just not worth it to me. I'm just like, ugh. I mean, they're okay, but they're kind of cakey. I want like a crumb, like I want
The edges
Yeah, I
to
want
be
a
kind
crispy,
of a crispy
buttery
edge, buttery
cookie.
edge. Yeah, I could agree with that.
it's not worth it to me.
It was wild. He did another one where the food he was comparing the other foods to was I think it was like a peanut butter cup cheesecake. And it was a pretty big piece of cheesecake. I don't know if it was Cheesecake Factory or not. He didn't say that, but he was like, this is the cheesecake. This is as big as it is. And he hadn't divulged the amount of calories on that. He said the peanut butter cheesecake or crumble cookie. And people were like, oh God, it's got to be crumble cookie. And it wasn't.
Wow.
It wasn't. Crumble cookie, that specific one that he was comparing the two was like, crumble cookie was 1,350 calories, which for those who've never exposed themselves to crumble cookie, and I'm going to say exposed versus experienced crumble cookie on purpose,
Wow.
is that they are anywhere. I don't know that there is one. I don't really know, but I don't think there's one that's below 1,000 calories. If there is, it's like they've got mini cookies too. I think
a cookie that size, like, is about the size of a cookie at Starbucks or the size of a cookie at a bakery, cafe, Barnes and Noble type cookie.
Yeah.
That shape is about 500 calories. It's about half.
I would have guessed the crumble cookies to be around 600 or 700 calories.
They're just so thick.
I can't believe they're 1,200,
Yeah,
1,300.
It must be the thickness of them.
Some of them are 1,500 calories.
Ugh.
He finally, the last thing he said was, okay, a pound of popcorn or this peanut butter cheesecake. It was funny because on the other things, the individual who was guessing, who was saying, oh yeah, it's the crumble cookie or not, he actually said, oh, definitely the cheesecake has more than the pound of popcorn.
Oh, what does the popcorn have on it?
It was just like in the package movie theater butter popcorn.
Okay.
1 pound of it, though. I think that's what people don't realize is the we're
weight.
talking about a pound of popcorn.
Yeah.
Popcorn in and of itself, by volume, isn't that insanely much.
Yeah.
Like because it's so airy.
Yeah.
You can have a lot of it
Yeah.
for the density.
Yeah.
A pound of that popcorn in that reel was 1,750 calories,
Wow.
and the peanut butter cup cheesecake thing that he had, I think, was 1,575. So the
Wow.
popcorn ended up being more on that. That was the last one that went out. But he put a bunch. He's like 2 Big Macs versus this cheesecake, and it was a variety of foods that you would like. Oh my God, 2 Big Macs, and the Big Macs actually weren't even like that bad. It was wild. So those are fun to see because you know how many different sayings you could say around this. I've got, my eyes are bigger than my stomach, all of those kinds of things. Like we look at food and we don't understand either what's in it, what makes it up, that kind of thing. That's why I think the AI taking a picture of the food is not quite, that technology isn't quite
not there yet.
Yeah. Because I tested that and it was about a 400 calorie difference in
Yeah.
the one food that I had taken a picture of. So I'd be curious what it would do. Like maybe pizza, it's better for, but if it's trying to find the macros and calories for something where there's an oil that's hidden in, I think that can be a big calorie difference. So I did the laying down thing on another instance. It was on our honeymoon. And I think yours might have been on your honeymoon.
Yeah.
This is what's weird.
I
Is
know.
that
I did the same thing.
all of us did this.
Yeah.
Except Adam.
Except Adam.
He has some sense. He's not a complete rube.
Yeah.
We had our honeymoon. We wanted to go to Galveston, but there was a hurricane that had just hit. So we ended up going to San Antonio instead. So we drove down to San Antonio. We stayed there for 10 days, just puttering around San Antonio, Riverwalk, doing different things. And we went to Ruth Chris when we were down there. And we actually were staying close enough where we walked to there from our hotel. And I couldn't finish the food at Ruth Chris, which is unheard of for me. I mean, everybody knows I finish my food. And So we got it to go. We proceeded to walk back to the hotel room. As soon as I got in the hotel room, I laid down on the bed and opened up the containers and then ate the rest of the food. Why?
It's almost like you had to do it in private.
Yes.
It's interesting. Did Randy say anything?
Oh, no, he did it with me. We're the worst for each other. We're complete enablers. We're like, I don't know, I really want a cookie. Yeah, me too. Let's go. It's funny is these days, I mean, we're both on this together, which I'm really glad we are.
Yeah.
He goes to the gym with me. I'm so glad because I do not think, no, I know that I wouldn't have stayed in the gym for as long as I have if he wasn't also doing it with me. And then now we're to the point where we've actually seen muscle and we've seen the body composition change where we're like, oh my God, like I wish we would have started. You know, it's one of those where like I can't imagine us stopping, even though I have a story for that actually.
Yeah.
Because it could be very easily stopped. Like it's pretty wild how quickly things could slip back to old habits, which makes sense because the neural pathways are still there. They're just weakened. That like we'll be in we like to coffee. We love coffee. I love experiencing new coffee shops. I don't enjoy the flavors that are put in coffee. I like the black coffee. If it's a good coffee, I can pick out the notes, and I'm not like a coffee sommelier or whatever they're called. You know, it's a wine thing, but like there are people that can actually pick out the really good notes of things. But I've got to the point where I've experienced so many different kinds of coffee that I can discern like that's terrible coffee or this is actually pretty good coffee.
Yeah.
I like oilier coffees, like I know that.
Yeah.
I like more unctuous coffees, I would say. I would describe for me, that means like more chocolatey. They've got notes of chocolate, but they don't taste like chocolate, but they have notes of it. I don't like as much. I still like these coffees, but the fruitier coffees, the ones that
I don't
are
like those either.
apple or grapefruit, like they're good. Those are mostly Ethiopian type coffees is the ones I get.
I like the Colombian nutty chocolatey.
Yes, they're hazelnutty, they're
Yeah.
walnutty. They're the nuttier ones. They're the more chocolatey hazelnut, the deeper, warmer notes instead of the lighter, fruitier notes. I know that I like that. So when we go to coffee shops, you know, people are like, oh, do you want the vanilla chakalaka with the cherry on top? And I'm like, I want to like those things because it seems like it's such a socially accepted thing. But if I end up getting one, I end up not liking it. Because I'm like, just give me a black coffee. If your coffee's good, then it should be able to stand up on its own.
I used to love those things.
I did too.
I mean, those were the gateway coffees when we were
sure.
younger. We used to ride our bikes to Starbucks in the mornings before work, back when we lived together in the cheese stick days. And we would get, back when Starbucks used to have the Valencia syrup.
Oh, it was so good.
And we got the mocha Valencia.
Why don't they have that anymore? It's so orange and chocolate together is an underrated.
Oh, it's so good. And we were even though we were laying down to eat cheese sticks back in those days, we would get like Tahoes or Grandes.
Yeah.
Because we had to ride our bikes 3 miles back to our house. So
and we knew we were going to get another one later on. And we were also poor.
We were also juicing and eating.
Those were our
oatmeal
juicing
in the
days.
morning. Yeah. Yeah. And we were going on the local bike trails. So we were active.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah.
So we were
younger.
younger.
That was a treacherous ride, by the way.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't get hit.
To map out this ride, like we lived in a housing addition, and then this Starbucks, the closest one to us, was you had to cross a really busy intersection, and then we had to
go through an addition,
cut through a fence,
through an apartment complex, over a
really busy
6-lane busy road, through 2 parking lots, across another 6-lane road.
Then we took the back end, like smaller housing communities.
Then we were on like some sidewalks and housing communities.
Yeah, it still was sketchy.
It was pretty safe, but a little sketchy.
It's about 2.5, 3
2.5,
miles,
3
maybe.
miles. Yeah, one way, and then the same route on the way back. But
no helmets.
No helmets.
No knee pads.
No.
We never fell,
No.
surprisingly.
I was because we're good.
I don't know. I cannot speak today.
I fall just walking. So
yeah.
nowadays, so it's fine.
I can choke on my own air.
I choke on my own spit.
no
so it's
help.
fine.
Good Lord.
But back in my 20s, I was really good.
That is the best Frappuccino, the Valencia
Yeah, those are so good.
mocha. I can't believe it. The raspberry mocha was really good. The raspberry mocha chip. Was it raspberry mocha chip?
Yeah, I think you can still, well, no, you can't get that. But a couple years ago, you could still get that. They still had the raspberry syrup.
I don't know if they have it anymore.
They don't.
What is wrong with them?
Adam was because he used to get raspberry tea all the time, and he can't get that anymore.
I feel
so
like
he was
raspberry
really
is like a
sad.
staple.
I know. They don't have that anymore.
But they don't have the orange either.
No, they haven't had the orange. I actually asked. I haven't asked for years.
Because you can typically
I would ask.
like put it together.
But no, they haven't had that since like 2003. They haven't had it for a really long time.
I told you this, I think, when there was a Starbucks in Maui when me and Randy went.
Yeah.
And when we landed there, of course, I'm so stupid. There was a macadamia nut mocha frappuccino. I had that sucker every day when I was there. I didn't discover it until like day 2. And we were only there for 5 days. We weren't there for very long. And I remember thinking, I can't wait to get back to the States and have this macadamia nut mocha frappuccino. It's so good. It was so good. Macadamia nut and then the mocha, it was a perfect combination. Of course, I was so stupid. Like,
they don't have it here.
of course, it's a macadamia one in Maui. That's what they produce.
Yeah.
But I thought they must have released it when we were on the plane. It's a new thing. I'm going to get back and have this macadamia nut mocha frappuccino. I'm going to bring a piece of Maui back with me. I get to the Starbucks. I'm like, you guys don't have a macadamia nut mocha? I'm 23, guys. I didn't know what life was really about.
You didn't know.
Oh my God, it was so good. I have one of my employees is getting married this year, and their plan is to go to Maui for their honeymoon. I was like, you got to get the macadamia nut mocha. Like, seriously, this is what, 25
Hopefully
years
they have
later?
it. Yeah. Hopefully I'm sure they do. Hopefully.
Why would they not? They would be stupid not to.
My honeymoon laying down story was wedding cake. So we had, we had a double wedding, and they saved, I think, the top layer, like you freeze it and then you eat it like a year later. And then we had extra cake to just take home, or they were just going to throw it away. So naturally, we took it home.
Well, yeah.
Because you don't just throw that cake away.
No.
That cake was so good. So we took it home, and we left for our honeymoon the next day. We took Route 66 out to LA. It was our honeymoon. You guys went to Texas. We
Did Route 66.
We did Route 66 out to LA. So we took the wedding cake with us, and our first night we stayed at the Munger Moss Inn. Is that Missouri? I think it was Missouri. I'm not sure where that was at. So it's really not that great of a hotel. It's an old hotel, like an original hotel on Route 66. So we're staying in this kind of rinky-dink old hotel that really hasn't been updated since the 50s and 60s. And we're eating this wedding cake, and it's so good. And I know we're not going to take it with us, because how do you package this wedding cake?
Right.
This is it.
Like, this is the time.
This is the time.
This is the one and only.
Yep. This is it.
Oh, my God.
And of course, Adam can stop. He's fine.
Yeah, he doesn't have a problem with it.
I don't think he's as addicted to food as I am. So I decide I'm going to lay down on the bed and just continue to shovel this. We're on our honeymoon. And I'm like, screw you, Adam.
I gained 15 pounds on that honeymoon, by the way.
I think I did too. I'm like just shoveling this cake in. And I'm like, you don't want any more? And Adam's like, no, I'm good.
Like, you just clearly need to keep going.
Eating all this cake, and he's like, you're gonna make yourself sick. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And I'm just like, eating this cake. And he was like, okay. He was like real supportive about it. He's just like, okay, you know. It's probably like, what did I marry? I have no idea what's going on. But yeah, I remember because we went through a weight loss journey before we got married, because we wanted to look our best for
And
our marriage.
So, let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we would get together almost every morning and walk. And we had this mantra.
Our
This
10.
was our 10 things we wanted to do. We wanted to be able to wear a belt, tuck in our shirt, put our hair in a ponytail and not worry about looking fat.
They were all superficial things.
Very superficial. But none of them were like, feel good in my body.
I was 23, 24, and you were 26, 27. So it's not, I mean, they weren't going to be deep intrinsic things. So
that's just it. Let's talk about that for a second too.
Yeah.
They were extrinsic motivational things. Still got us going.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
It moved us. Yes.
It moved us. It's like the carrot and the stick. If you've got, you have the carrot on the end of a stick, that's what's going to get the horse going. That's that visual. And you just keeps moving. So that's the movement that you want from the horse is, that's what's making them move. It's not motivating them. So that's why we say carrot and stick at times. I think we say it and we think people understand us and we're like, we need to actually.
But eventually, what is the carrot? The wedding.
Yep.
When you take that carrot away.
What else?
What is keeping
nothing
them going?
I never looked back. I gained. And I
gained it all back plus
some. I think at that point I had lost about 60 pounds on that go round. Because I wasn't a 300-pound mark when we started that. But I think I was 209 when we got married. You were a little less than me. You were, I think, in the 180s.
Yeah. I was like 190, 180, something like that.
Something like that. But I fit in my dress still. I do remember right before the wedding, I think we got a little stressed out. So I gained maybe 5-6 pounds. But
dress was tight.
It was tighter than I wanted it to be.
But it fit.
It was still good.
Yeah.
That was definitely a really good example, and looking back on it and internalizing it of you really need the intrinsic, you need the next thing to look forward to too. For me, I always really need something else to work towards.
Yeah.
Like it can't just be the number on the scale. Now it is muscle. And then longevity, you have to have muscle.
Yeah.
You have to have muscle. If you don't have muscle, just getting on the toilet older is not going to happen by myself. And freedom is one of my highest values.
And that's another great example too of that I deserve it mentality, because I had worked so hard. I mean, like you said, we got up every morning.
We walked.
We met before.
That was the same time when I would write down the weight I wanted to be.
Over and over
again.
There
was good focus. There was attention density. All of the pillars that we do talk about in this program now, we just didn't have the intrinsic motivation.
I think this was the time when we ate the cake in the parking lot too. It was around the same time.
It was the same time.
But I remember being on my honeymoon and thinking, I deserve to eat this food.
God, because such a good point to make.
I did not get to or allow myself to eat a cheese, because we ate at a lot of diners on Route 66. So I ate a lot of beef. I remember my bowel movements were not right because of, like, it just was, you're just not eating very well when you're on the road like that until we got to LA. I was getting dessert at restaurants, and I was on my honeymoon, and I deserved to celebrate and just experience my honeymoon. And I remember feeling my clothes get tighter and more uncomfortable, and I didn't care.
I know.
Because
it's like you stop caring.
And it wasn't because, well, I'm married now and it doesn't matter.
No,
it was not that.
It wasn't that.
It wasn't that. It was just, I had this thought in my head, and this is going to sound like I was so naive and stupid, and I probably was naive and stupid. I had just lost all that weight, and I knew I could do it again. It was almost like I needed to just let loose, because I had held on so tight. So white-knuckled. Yeah. And I needed to just let loose and enjoy myself. And I kept telling myself, when I get back, I will regain control and lose this weight. But I never did.
No.
I never did.
You and I stopped walking in the morning.
Yep.
I stopped getting on the scale. I didn't want to see it. I just bought bigger clothes.
Yep.
And that's a really good point to bring up, because there was something about the process we hadn't fallen in love with.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing you have to figure out along this journey. There has to be bits of what you're doing in a way that you like. You at least like. Maybe you don't absolutely fall in love with it. Maybe you don't love it. But maybe you do on some level too. Some things you have to find a way to like some of the things that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
We have to get Adam to like balancing out the food. We have to get Adam to like choosing the foods that he does. And maybe it isn't the food itself, but it's how he feels, how he's not falling asleep. I have to connect with going to the gym in a way that isn't putting me in a state of vulnerability or at risk, or I'm uncomfortable there. Like, I need to find a place that's safe for me, and that, okay, look, when I go to the gym, I'm going to be doing things that are freaking hard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm picking up heavy things and putting them down. And I wasn't at first, like, they weren't that heavy. Like, it was like 15 pounds, and I was like, I have no muscle. But you do it for so long, and you start to get stronger, and you start to get more strong, and you get stronger and stronger. And then you start to see that I am somebody that can lift even heavier. Am I going to go much heavier than I am now? I don't know. I'd like to go a little bit heavier. It's probably not going to be that much more than this.
Yeah.
But I had newbie gains. I was seeing things in the gym, and I was seeing improvement. I'm now lifting. I actually did 45s the other day on my bench press.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's a 45 in one hand and a 45 in another hand. I was doing 15s just 12 months ago. And now I can do push-ups. And I just wanted to be able to do 10 push-ups. Now I can do 20 push-ups at a time.
Yeah.
And Mike comes by and he goes, those are looking pretty good. And then he'll, like, if I'm doing like, I can't do 4 sets of 12 of the 45s. I've gotten to the 40s. And then I was like, I'm going to try the 45s. I did 2 sets and they were ugly. I was struggling. Mike was like standing there, like ready to catch them.
Yeah.
He was like, and that's the thing. You have people that are cheering you on and watching you in ways that you didn't know they needed to even see you do. People need to be able to see that they can do this kind of thing and have enough hope that they can actually do it, and then believe that they can do it. I didn't think I could ever bench 45 in one hand and 45 in the other. It's ugly. And then I was talking, there's a girl there named Lindsay, and I know her name because it's your name. And she's only been there for 6 months, but she's always like, man, like this is funny. She was told to pick up a 60-pound weight the other day by her trainer, Sam. He's not my trainer. My trainer's Mike, but they were college buddies, so they opened this gym together, Sam and Mike. And Sam was like, go pick up a 60, and he was going to have her do, which is no light weight. He was going to have her do sumo squats. So you hold the weight underneath your chin and you squat. And she picked up a 90 because it was upside down. And she was like, oh, this is really heavy. And then she just started to do it. She only got to 4 because it was 90 pounds.
Yeah.
Is no joke. I was like, Lindsay.
Especially holding it like up high.
Up high underneath your chin. And then squatting with it. I go, I don't even think I could pick up a 90.
But she believed she could.
And she didn't know any different. And she did.
Believing is seen.
She came up to me the other day. She goes, I heard you did 45s. I was like, how did you hear that? She goes, Sammy told me. Sammy is not my personal trainer.
Yeah, but he knows.
I didn't even know Sam was in the room in the gym when I was doing that.
Yeah.
People talk.
Yeah.
Sam was like, yeah, I think there's only 2 other girls that ever even got to 50s. I was like, well, I'm going to do 50s by the end of this summer. So
I like that statement, though, because we so often fall in love with the output, the outcome.
Oh my gosh. And that's all we focus on is that damn number.
Yeah,
Sorry to cuss about it, but man.
But I think that's important that we fall in love with the process, because that's life. That's the journey.
It really is.
It's so important.
I also, this came to mind right now. I don't know how this will play out, but I originally majored in musical theater. And for those of you who have ever been in theater, or especially musical theater, there's a process to it. you audition, you know these people know these people, they talk to them, they tell them about you, it's a community of people that it's very niche, it's very who you know, it's there's talent involved, of course, but a lot of it is like, that's she's the daughter of the producer.
Mm-hmm.
There's some of that. Talent will only get you so far. A lot of the process is in that realm is who you know. And of course, during that time, it's like, well, who, on a dirtier note, you know where I'm going.
Yeah, I know.
And then, of course, all of the files that are coming out now I know why I didn't go into that world.
Yeah.
But there was a part of it, I was getting roles downtown. I was paid to perform.
Mm-hmm.
I actually couldn't go for a scholarship my senior year because I had been paid to perform on stage. So I was only
professional.
I was considered a professional actress because I was only $300, guys.
Yeah.
But I had
so sad.
I had received money in a check for performance. So I was considered a professional actress, a theater goer at that time. So I couldn't go for that one scholarship. And then I got this role downtown, and I had practiced the song I was going to sing for it. It was You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. And my voice coach knew of the role that had opened up because the girl who was going to do it, she got sick or she couldn't do it for whatever reason. She was like, why don't you come down and just see how it goes? So I had worked really hard, and I was darn good.
Mm-hmm.
I
you
can
were
sing.
Really good. Yeah.
I can sing, and I can make you believe just about anything on stage.
Yep.
When I stepped on stage, I felt like I owned the entire theater. I had this. You
have high command. It's just one of your talents.
It just feels very natural to me. Well, I practiced. I was really excited for this. I was going to show that I am the best person for this. I am the best for this. Even if that girl came back, you wouldn't even want her. Like, it's that kind of a thing. Yeah. I get down there and they're like, oh, you're with so-and-so? Yeah, you've already got it. I didn't even open my mouth. I don't even think he knew my last name. It's because of who I knew. And they vouched for me. And I know the world is like this beyond theater, but it was that moment when I fell out of love with the process.
I was going to say, how did that make you feel?
I was like, are you kidding me? I am talented. And you should hear 16 bars of this song that I have just like rocked out.
I would have been offended.
I think that's what it was for me. And I did it. I did. And I'm telling you, professional theater is very different from high school theater. We practiced it twice. And then we were in front of a live audience. Like, it was like, it's the ramp up time to get to where you need to be is like nothing. Like, you've got to be a professional, and that's what is expected. So I got exposed to that, which was kind of like high stakes, but really cool. Like, you needed to have your stuff together on a level that no one's going to watch you do it. Mm-hmm. No one's checking that you've done your homework, that you know your lines, that kind of a thing. But I completely fell out of love with the process and went a different path. And I'm glad I did. You know, what I know now with some of the things that are coming out, of course, now I know that my life was supposed to go in this way. But I mean, if you would have talked to me in high school, I was going to move to Chicago. I was going to be an actress. I was going to go to New York. I was going to be on the stage. I had no appetite to be in the movies or on screen. I wanted to be in the theater because that's where the energy was for me. And so the process you can fall in and out of love with, I guess, is what I want to say around that. And I think it's important for us to, especially when we're working on our habits and we're building this process, whether we're faking it until it becomes real, we're faking it until we make it, we're speaking it into existence, whatever we're doing, it will start to take hold in a way that there are benefits of it, because what we're doing is, there is a mountain of data to support that this is good for us. It makes us feel better. We're working towards a goal. We're getting the dopamine hits because we are working towards a goal. All of this stuff stacks up and builds on top of each other. And you have to be curious enough and open enough to it to turn to it and look at it in a way that you fall in love with the process.
Yeah. Focus on the small wins to get the big gains.
Yeah.
Try to find the little things that you love.
And
is what I'm
correlate it
hearing.
to things that we don't always associate. I'm eating this, and this is the outcome,
Yeah.
not the scale. Not that the scale isn't important, because it is. It's
Yeah.
a tool, and it's one tool though.
Yeah.
How much muscle are you putting on? How much more present for that really hard conversation can you be? Do you notice the leaves in the fall changing? Do you notice the springtime coming and the air is warmer in a different way than you did?
Mm-hmm.
We get to experience life in a different way, but it's not automatic, and no one's going to hand it to you. You have to come and get it, but you have to be open and curious enough to see it. This took a really different turn,
I know.
but
we're both getting misty-eyed.
you really
Yeah.
have to fall in love with the process in some way. And I'm not talking about just loving the pizza bowl or loving the food that you have. It's about associating it with your life in general.
That's what matters. Until next time, stay curious.
Keep experimenting.